Are we about to see Gary Gensler really leave the SEC? Budgetary concerns, Congress has a view, and G20 giving some regulatory framework when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Gary Gensler on the boat or not? Well, I'm going to break it down for you in this video. You need to see this. This is a super interesting viewpoint, and more importantly, we could actually see the end of Gary Gensler. Could be massive for cryptocurrency. We're going to break it down for you in this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, let's see what's going on. Tom Emner. Now, everyone knows Tom Emner. He's the individual that destroyed Gary Gensler in the court. It says Congress takes aims at the SEC's digital asset enforcement spending. Emmer urged Congress to employ available methods and proper procedure to prevent potential misuse of taxpayers' funds. Gary Gensler and the SEC. Now, it's interesting because Gary Gensler has gone very quiet since the whole XRP ruling. And interestingly enough, he did actually apply for more funding on the back of that loss versus the XRP team. Now, what we do need to understand, though, is what is the budget that the SEC already have? Now, bearing in mind their viewpoint, bearing in mind this one-man crusade that Gary Gensler seems to be on, we take a look at their budget. $3.01 billion in budgetary resources. That's what they have for 2023. One of the biggest budgets yet to be undertaken by the SEC. A huge amount. And then they have even more going into their Securities and Exchange Commission spending contracts and financial assistance. Over $600 million going there. So the budget is well worth keeping on to. And again, think about what they're doing with this. Think about kind of all the things they're starting to kind of go against. It's really interesting. You can absolutely see why Congress want to embrace digital currencies as opposed to go against it. There is a $3.01 billion price tag on what Gary Gensler is doing right now. And to kind of take a view of that, we can see ultimately what's happened under the Biden administration and importantly, kind of what the SEC has been doing. So you can see there the market value of the total global cryptocurrency, that all-time high there, just over $3 billion back in 2021. But when we take a look and kind of go back in dates, see what happens. Obviously, we had the federal court rules in favor of Grayscale. The House Financial Services Chair, Patrick Mahoney, authorized a letter to the Federal Reserve. We see the SEC charged a media company with its first ever NFT enforcement action. $3.01 billion. Remember that Treasury Department released proposed regulations governing crypto tax reporting, and the list goes on and on and on, all of which going against the cryptocurrency markets, all of which trying to hold on. And I think finally, when we have things like G20 coming up, where actually the 20 biggest global nations around there really coming together to form the crypto asset reporting framework to embrace cryptocurrency. You see there, several countries will be affected by the upcoming framework, including Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea, Turkey, the United Kingdom, and the United States. So not only are we in a world where the G20 summit is bringing people together, these huge economies around the world to really embrace cryptocurrency, to look to how we move forward. And then you have Gary Gensler and his cronies trying to spend $3.01 billion and bring it all down. And that's why we get Tom Emner being incredibly critical of Gary Gensler. It says here, Emner, a vocal critic of SEC's actions in the cryptocurrency industry, particularly the leadership of SEC Chair Gary Gensler, alleged that Gensler has exceeded his authority, resulting in adverse consequences for the American people. And absolutely, we know that he's been a sponsor of the appropriations amends and aimed at restricting U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission use of funds for digital assets. His concerns have arisen due to the absence of crypto regulations, with Emner suggesting that the SEC's substantial expenditure on legal disputes with numerous crypto entities might constitute a weaponization of taxpayers' funds. And I think that's kind of the crazy thing of all of this. It's fundamentally paid for by the American people, and then it's a double-edged sword because it's affecting the American people not being able to invest in digital assets. This digital revolution that we're all super excited about, and we know that is coming. Gary Gensler trying to do the best he can to restrict all this movement. So I think it's really, really interesting to see. When we get into things like price action and all the rest of it, all on the back of this news, when we see kind of Gary Gensler talking, does give some real volatility in the market. Obviously, at the minute, we're in a really bearish market. If anyone tells you the bull run's here, they're lying. We are in a bear market right now. We continue to move through this bear market. $25,854 is currently where Bitcoin sits, so we have some way to go. But while ever we have Tom Emner wanting to vocalize his view of digital assets, his critique of Gary Gensler, which once again is spending $3.01 billion to fight against cryptocurrency, well, it all can come to a big crescendo. Now, we have a pretty big week for us in the markets this week. We'll see kind of how all this plays out across the global markets with CPIs coming out, as well as the potential 13th of September. FTX sell-off of those assets, $1.8 billion. So be careful, be mindful how you trade the markets this week. If you want to follow me on Twitter, head on over there. All the links in the description. If you want to get some fantastic trading platforms as well, Gate.io, fantastic bonuses, Mexi and Fairdesk, all in the description for you to check out. But like I said, Tom Emner, Gary Gensler, let me know who you think is going to win down below in the comments. And as ever, thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know you like this sort of content. Smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.